Hello and welcome to TVC News this hour. We begin in faraway Morocco, where the World Bank and the IMF want better commitment by governments to addressing economic growth and development challenges in their respective climes. They are also pledging more commitment to helping those countries address these issues. They made this known at the IMF World Bank annual meetings plenary in Marrakesh. Lara Falayan reports.
The plenary at the IMF and World Bank annual meetings. The World Bank says declining economic growth in developing countries, rising poverty and debt, amongst other challenges, is of grave concern. Ensuring sustainable growth through job creation, human development, fiscal and debt management, as well as food security, are issues of concern as well. The financial institution emphasizes inclusivity of interventions to include women and children for greater impact, with more private sector engagements in the process by governments.
People are eager to go to work. They want to create with their own hands. They want a better life for their children and their grandchildren. I have felt that yearning among entrepreneurs in Nigeria. I've seen it in the proud eyes of artists in Indonesia. I've touched it on the worn hands of farmers in Jamaica. The bank has an obligation, in fact a duty, to match their energy with a fierce determination. We have to be the hand on their back, moving people forward.
The International Monetary Fund, on its part, feels global growth and recovery from shocks is slow and uneven, as medium-term growth prospects are the weakest in decades, with developing countries the hardest hit. It says Africa is home to the world's youngest population, with potentials that need to be harnessed. It calls for measures towards greater ease of doing business, trade reforms, access to capital, investment in people, particularly education, for tomorrow's jobs to be secured.
This is especially the case here on the African continent, home of the world's youngest population. Progress in closing the income gap with more advanced economies and generating job-rich growth will be vital over the next 50 years.
Suggestions also included domestic resource mobilization, tax reforms, as well as external financing.
These new challenges require new tools, such as IMF Resilience and Sustainability Facility, which was introduced to help countries build resilience, including against climate shocks.
The private sector can help. These other sources that I talked about, voluntary carbon markets, subsidies, they can help. But we will need a bigger bank to increase our financing capacity, to take on more rich, to encourage investment and support the replicability and scalability that the World Bank is gearing up to deliver.
The World Bank and the IMF have once again pledged commitment to supporting developing economies like Nigeria, but their message is clear. Governments of such countries must take tough decisions to ensure good governance by way of blocking leakages and fighting corruption to save the scarce resources needed for development, as development delayed is definitely development denied. Lara Falayan, TVC News, Marrakesh.